Hello again, everybody. Harry Caray and Steve Stone. We're at Wrigley Field for the final home game of the year. After today, the Cubs go on the road for the final week of the season. So the weatherman's given us a glorious day to finish the season at home with.
And with Curt Schilling on the mound against Kevin Tapani, it should prove to be quite a contest today. Schilling with 305 strikeouts, looking for his 17th win of the year. He's one of the most dominating pitchers in the National League, still an outside shot at the Cy Young Award. And Kevin Tapani has been brilliant for the Cubs.
Well, he's only been available for the last half of the season. His record is 7-3. He's pitched some remarkable games, won a one-hit shutout. And I look forward to this matchup. Anybody can outpitch Curt Schilling. You got to consider one of the greatest pitchers in the league.
And it's really a classic encounter because it's a straight power pitcher as you look at Curt Schilling against a finesse pitcher in Kevin Tapani. And you look at strikeouts, and the Cubs, a very difficult team to strike out. Curt Schilling should have his work cut out for him, and there's a lot of left-handers in the lineup today. Ryne Sandberg is in the number 2 spot, the spot where he inhabited most of his major league career, the spot where he will go into the Hall of Fame, and of course he's at second base once again.
And there's going to be a lot of people here to cheer him on, and I would imagine they'll withdraw him from the game around the 5th or 6th innings to give the fans a final chance to get up again in standing ovation. This man has led every ball player in the history of the game in receiving standing ovations. Harry Caray and Steve Stone from Wrigley Field. Here is a starting lineup given by Terry Francona, the Philadelphia fine young manager. Cummings in center, Morandini at second, Rowland at third, Brogna at first, Lieberthal, the catcher, McMillan in left, Barron in right, Stocker at shortstop, and Curt Schilling, who had won 16 and lost 10 and leads with 305 strikeouts. Now the Chicago Cubs Pepsi defense is Brent Brown in left, Lance Johnson in center, Sammy Sosa in right, Ori at third, Alexander at short, Sandberg at second, Grace at first, Tyler Houston behind the plate, and Kevin Tapani is on the hill. And the umpires are the most colorful names of umpires in the business: Jerry Meals, Dana DeMuth, Jim Quick, and Gary Darling. That's the 4 managers. And the fans are on the field, as is the custom here, getting the signature of the player at that particular position. And there's a little gal turning out the first ball of the day. Let's see, who is that? Who threw out the... Yeah, she's just one of the people that assumed the position with the player. Sammy Sosa running around the outfield, and a little youngster will follow right with him. And now he throws a ball into the stand. No wonder they all... Another ball! Another ball! How about another ball?
Kevin Tapani coming off perhaps the best game of his life. A one-hit shutout against Cincinnati. He went the distance with just 2 walks and 5 strikeouts, giving up just the 1 hit to Brett Boone, and you can't get much better than that. And the sentiments of Ryne Sandberg echoing throughout the ballpark on this his final day at Wrigley Field as a player.
You know, the Cubs Stadium Operation Employees of the Year were recognized, and well, they should. They've all done a fine job. And ceremonial pitches were thrown by Van Busen, Vice Chairman of LaSalle Bank, Mike Hill, a guest of the Cubs, and Tom Arnold, who's featured star in the Tom Show, who's to be seen on WGN TV. As a matter of fact, Tom will be up here to tell us about it. First pitch of the ball game to Cummings is a strike call.
I have a feeling today the strike zone is going to be fairly wide on this getaway day, so the hitters at best be going up there swinging.
Here's the pitch, foul back. And our national anthem on this final day of the home season. Wayne and Kathleen Messmer did their usual beautiful rendition. If anything, it was better than ever today. Here's a pitch a little bit inside. Montgomery Ward, honorary bat boy and bat girl. Brian Josat, the boy. Claudia Aguina, the girl. Swings and he strikes him out. Cummings starts the ball game by striking out.
From the Southwest Plainview camera, we'll take a look at a good slider from Kevin Tapani. So he starts off today where he left off just 5 short days ago, pitching very well.
You know, I had noticed in the paper a little squib, I think it was in the Sun-Times, on Greg Maddux. You know, he has a record of 19-4. He had 4 other victories. He was leading at the end of 8 innings, had brought in their saver, Mark Wohlers, and he blew the ball game, or blew the save. So very easily he could have 23 victories right now. But more important than that, here's the pitch. In 224 2/3 innings, say 225 innings, he has given only 19 walks. In 32 starts, he's won 19 games. Has a man ever finished up winning more ball games than he walked anybody? Well, I don't know if that's anything unusual or not, but certainly there'll be something for a trivia if Greg Maddux completes that. Winning more ball games than he walked men, and he's pitched 225 innings. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Morandini hitting 296. The White Sox lead at Boston 2-1 in the 5th. There's a high pop foul, out of play. My son-in-law, Coley Newell, whose greatest fame in the world is that he's the proud papa of Brenda Newell, my 3-year-old grandson. Strike 3 call. And hey, it looks like Tapani is going right after Schilling in a battle of strikeouts.
Well, I told you this is going to be a wide plate today, folks. And from the Southwest Airlines, we'll take a look at one a good 6-7 inches off the plate. So the hitters best be appraised that it's going to be a wide plate. Go up and swing the bat. And Mickey Morandini, not the happiest camper.
2-minute round. I've never seen anybody be happy when he's called out on strikes, no matter where it is. Here's a little tap. The pitcher Tapani throws out Scott Rowland. Boy, that was an easy inning indeed. 1, 2, 3. We're going to the bottom of the 1st. No score. Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field. Here is Jim Riggleman's starting Pepsi lineup for the Cubs. Johnson in center, Sandberg at second, Grace playing first, Sosa in right, Hanson at third, Brown in left. Tyler Houston catching, Alexander playing short. Tapani, the pitcher, in the defense against that lineup is McMillan, Cummings, and Barron in the outfield. Rowland, Stocker, Barandina, and Brogna at first base. Lieberthal catching, and Kurt Schilling on the mound.
Schilling on for his 34th start. He is an overpowering fastball pitcher.
First pitch, Lance Johnson takes it for a strike call.
Cubs have always had good luck against Schilling. He's 3-4 lifetime against them with a 3.17 ERA.
Schilling has allowed only 2 home runs in his last 10 ball games, and he's pitched 7 complete games already. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled it back.
Cubs did face Schilling once this year. They got him for 5 earned runs in 8 innings, and they beat him at the Vet in Philadelphia.
Fine crowd on hand. Here's the pitch. There's a high drive, right center field, way back. Barron can't get it. Going to the wall. Here's Lansra. Second, he'll make it at third base easily. Sliding in for a triple. Lance Johnson starts the ball game for the Cubs with a triple to right center.
As soon as this one gets over the head of Barron, Lance Johnson is off to the races, and he has very good speed. His 8th triple of the year. And now Ryno with a chance to drive in his 64th run. Lance Johnson, a very promising way to start for the Cubs.
Actually, that's his 2nd triple this year for the Cubs, and the 7th while he's a member of the Mets, giving him a total of 9 triples for the year. Here's Sandberg. Here's what other great stars have done in their last appearance at Wrigley Field, which goes now for Sandberg. We'll show it to you again. Banks, Santo, and Williams. Here's the pitch, a strike call. Let's look at it again, Arnie. Banks, single, 1 for 3. Santo hitless, and Williams hitless. All in their final appearance at Wrigley Field, and this will be Sandberg's final appearance here at home. Fouled it out of play on 2. Lance Johnson during his career has had 107 triples. Brett Butler, among the men still playing, leads with 130. Molitor was an interesting statistic, right ahead of him with 108. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
All Ryno needs is a ground ball in the middle infield, and it's going to score the run.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Line drive, way back. Against the wall, 1 run is in. Here's Ryno trying for second base. Oh, he slid off the bag and he was out, but he singled. Driving in the first run, out trying to stretch it, and listen to the standing ovation. As Ryno in his final time at bat, final game, his first time at bat in his final game at home, has lined a single off the ivy in left center to drive in the run. That is his 64th RBI of the year.
Morandini did a nice job of keeping the glove on Sandberg when he overslid the bag.
They caught him a double. He fell off the bag when he was tagged. Here's Grace fouling it back. So add an extra base hit to Sandberg's total. There's a line drive foul. That's a 403rd double for Sandberg during his career. Grace goes down swinging. He just passed Billy Williams for most doubles hit by a Cub player.
From the Southwest Plainview camera, we'll take a look at the 42nd strikeout of the year for Mark Grace. It's the off-speed pitch, and it has him way out in front. That's 306 for Curt Schilling.
Sandberg now has 403 doubles, tying Billy Williams for the 3rd highest total in Cub history. The only Cubs with more was Hall of Famer Cap Anson, 528. And Ernie Banks, 407. And Ryno may pass Banks in the week left to the season. Two men are out, 1-0 Cubs. Sammy Sosa. Schilling's pitch. In there, a slider for a strike call. The outfield, a shade towards left field, and of course, as deep as they can be. Sammy with 36 homers, 119 RBI. You know, in case you wonder about RBIs, forget about it. A guy named Hack Wilson many years ago drove in over 190, 196, I believe. I don't know whether anybody will ever reach that mark again. It goes to show you what very little sleep and a lot of booze can do for you. He was very well known for both. There's an Arnie Harris hat shot of the year with ticket stubs. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball, foul. 2-2. Getting warm. Beautiful day. Two balls, two strikes. Fouled it back. There's Jeremy Gonzalez. Boy, how he must have felt. He allowed 3 hits over 8 innings, had a shutout, wound up getting nothing. That's baseball. 2-2. There's strike 3. And both of these men, Tapani for the Cubs, Schilling for the Phillies, each have 2 strikeouts in this game, which has gone only 1 inning, and the Cubs lead 1-0. Harry Caray back in the ballpark. Here is Rico Proña, the first baseman, hitting .252. First pitch taps it right back to Tapani. Over to first, easy out, 4 in a row. 2 on strikes, retired by Tapani. Happy birthday to Charlie Dominic. 97 years old today. That's why I hurriedly wished a happy birthday. Charlie, take care of yourself. Too few of us left. Hey, Jimmy Farrow's been ill, recuperating, and back at the ballpark today. There's a pleasant sight indeed. What a well-liked man he is. And speaking of well-liked people, we certainly got to take special notice of our crew. Here's the pitch, a strike call. Get well wishes, first of all, to Frank Morelli. There's a pitch, Lieberthal, who's hit 20 home runs. Lieberthal's had a tough couple of days, 10 days, with a .097 batting average. But for the year, he's hit 20 homers, drove in 77 runs. So he's probably saying, the heck with those negative things. Look at the positive things I did. 20 home runs, 77 RBI. The pitch. And that's like the glass is either full or half empty. But whether you like it or not, that's the way it is. 3-2 pitch, smash foul. Our technical director on these Cub telecasts, Joe Pausback. We hear more about Joe because of his family, his daughters, or his wife, or somebody. I want to give him credit now for what he really does so well. The technical director of the WGN TV baseball broadcast. Here is Lieberthal, and whoa! Danny Alexander lost that ball in the sun.
That one almost hit him in the head. That goes as a base hit. And Bob Rosenberg is feeling very charitable today as Manny back there to make the catch and then looks up and misses it.
Well, boy, we've seen a few outfielders get hit in the head without the sun shining. This time he almost got it right in the bean. No. That goes for a base hit. 1 out, 1 on. And here is McMillan. Base hit like a bullet. Lieberthal around second, racing for third. And the runners at first and third with 1 out. McMillan, boy, he looks like a fine hitter.
Billy McMillan, who came over from the Florida Marlins in exchange for Darren Daulton, drives one right back up the middle. And Lieberthal scampers to third.
So here is Tony Barron, the right fielder. Good power. Runners first and third, infield back, hoping for a double play. There's a pitch a little bit low. Jim Pasma is our engineer in charge for WGN TV. Tappaney's one of those few who's pitched a one-hitter this year. Smash foul. Our graphics operator, Mark Stencil, who does an outstanding job. The audio man, Dave Grundvik, Jack Stocker, and Mike Aiello. Jack is up here in the booth with us quite a bit. There's a line drive, right field, base hit, a run is in. The game is tied up. Sammy has trouble picking the ball up, but nobody can go anywhere else but where they were headed anyway. And 3 hits in a row produce a run.
Barron drives in his 22nd run of the year. It's a pretty good pitch, and he doesn't hit it hard, but he hits it in a good spot. And Sammy has some problems with it as Lieberthal scores easily. And runners still at the corners and still only 1 out. And Kevin Stocker, who's a pretty tough hitter, stepping up.
As I list these men, just make a mental note. Maybe you can appreciate what has to be done to bring you the ball game the way you've become accustomed to getting it, perhaps better than anybody else in the country so far as production is concerned. Here's a pitch foul by Kevin Stocker. Our tape guys are Steve Casey, Scott Jones, Ed Kecker, and John Eckert. And the camera guys, who usually get all the credit, and they deserve it, but they're parts of this whole group. Stocker swings and misses. Mike Clay, Wynn Griffiths, Bob Albrecht, Mark Clausen, Jim Tianis, Kenny Lyle, Al Hilliard. Here's a pitch. A little high. Joe Carzoli, B.G. Scahill, and Joe Amiglio. I hope somewhere along the line Arnie will be able to show you the faces of these men. And I know he'll make every effort to try to do so. Here's the pitch. 1 fouled it back. And our video guy, Dave Campbell. And from the Trio video, Ken Nelson and Jack Susky. And above all, our stage manager, the one and only beautiful Kathy Kerr. Of course, Andy's got, there's a pitch swung on a high. Top fly on the infield. Grace will get it. Arnie is in the truck, of course, with Mandy Cohen. We try to list as many as we can, as many as we have time for. Others will be shown to you as we go along. 2 out now, the game tied up 1-1. You know, this comes under the heading of what I try to talk to. Here's a Schilling waiting on deck. Waited Schilling up at the plate. What I tried to get across to Jim Riggleman on his show on WGN Radio before the game today. Here's a, you know, our job, the WGN TV job, is to give you this ball game as well produced as they possibly can. So therefore, I shouldn't be doing all of these things that I'm doing. But this is a part where to really do the job, you got to give credit to the people that are involved and nobody ever knows anything about. Just like, here's a ground ball to Sharp. Up with it. Manny Alexander. That retires the side. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go in the bottom of the second all. Tied up. With Steve Stone, Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field and a beautiful crowd on hand on a gorgeous day for the final Chicago Cub game at Wrigley Field in 1997. The Cubs finish on the road starting tomorrow. The last 3 games will be in St. Louis. So I imagine a lot of Chicago people will be on hand down there for the finale. Here's Dave Hansen to lead it off, hitting 300 for the year. Swung, fouled it back. 1 strike and nothing. 1-1 tie. The Pirates just came up with 5 in the bottom of the 3rd against St. Louis, who can now lead 6-1 in the 4th. Line drive, base hit. Hansen singles the center. And he's on there.
Dave Hansen takes it right back up the middle from the Southwest Plainview camera, and there is the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera high atop Wrigley Field.
Now the pitch, fouled it back. Brent Brown, who homered with his dad in attendance, his parents were here. And they were happy to see that home run the other day. Billy McMillan in left. Then Greg Cummings in center. Tony Barron in right for the Phillies. 1 ball, 1 strike. Montreal on the front of Atlanta, 3-1 at the end of 5. Swings and he misses. One ball, 2 strikes. There's a strike call. And Brown is called out on strike. That's a third for Schilling, or the 308th of the year.
The bunt's open on the left side if Tyler wants it.
There's a strike call. Tyler Houston, who bunts every now and then, does it very well.
And Roland is so far back at third, he'll never get it.
1 strike to nothing, 1 out. There's the pitch a little bit outside. We're talking about there's the pitch. A weakly hit ground ball. Going to be thrown out. And Tyler can get down the line pretty good for a catcher. 2 away. And here is Manny Alexander. Game tied up at 1. And Schilling out. Strikeouts, Tapani over the first couple of innings. Tapani fan 2, Schilling is fan 3. You know, 17 times this year, Schilling has fanned 10 or more opponents in the game. The most 10-plus strikeout games in the season, Nolan Ryan did it in 77. That's since 1975. He did it again in 89. Let's see those figures again, Arnie, please. Pedro Martinez, 18 this year. Schilling. And Randy Johnson, 16 times. Those guys are all have fanned 10 or more men in one season that many times. And Pedro Martinez with Montreal did it last night. He's still got a chance to add another one. And Manny Alexander fouled the ball back. Funny thing, Alexander's only been with the Cubs a short while. But actually, he looks better at the plate than he has in the field. He looks like he can handle the bat pretty good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Detroit beating Baltimore 5-0 in the 4th. Cleveland and Kansas City, no score. Manny takes a lone away. And the White Sox at Boston tied up 2-2 at the end of 6. Yankees lead Toronto 2-0 in the 4th. Oh, he swung and missed. A wide sweeping curveball. Strikeout number 4 for Schilling at 309 for the year. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. At the end of 2, 1-1. Harry Caray and Steve Stone as we go into the top of the 3rd. Here's Midray Cummings to lead it off. 1 ball, no strikes. Swung and he missed. Tomorrow's an off day for the Cubs. They open a 3-game series in Houston Tuesday night. Josh and Steve will be there. I guess 7 o'clock game time. Here's Alexander throwing out Cummings. So 3 games in Houston and on to St. Louis to finish the season with 3 more. Let's pause for identification. One out, nobody on. Mickey Morandini was out on strike. His first time up. Takes the strike, 0-1. A little bit low and away. We're in the third. Over the inside corner, boy, Tapani is so steady with the fastball change. He sneaks in a splitter every now and then, I think. Some of the players tell me he's thrown about 3 or 4 in a couple of games. Is that the way you see it?
Well, he threw it one game, Harry, then his hand got a little sore. Now he's depending on the straight change, taking the place of the pitches he used to throw the splitter. I think he'll have it back next year, however.
Here's the pitch, swung and foul back. How do you like that batting race? The leader in the National League, Tony Gwynn, is average .3699. Second to him, Larry Walker, his average 3696. What are those, hundreds of thousands in the fourth?
It's 370 to 370, so it'll be decided the last week of the season.
Here's the pitch, he swings and he misses.
Cub fans, treat yourself or your favorite Cub fan to Vineline, the Cubs monthly newspaper. Vineline provides a year-round package of Cubs coverage for fans nationwide. Subscription rates start at just $19.95. All 2-year subscribers receive a free photo of their name in lights on Wrigley Field's marquee. Call 773-404-CUBS to order. That's 773-404-CUBS.
I think they would carry it out to that fourth figure.
Well, they will if it comes down to it. But
sure, because it has to actually be the highest batting average. And if the season had ended last night, Gwynn would have won by 300,000th of a point. And the Nissan trivia question. Who holds the Major League record for most consecutive strikeouts? Seaver, Ryan, Clemens, Johnson, Koufax. I say Seaver.
I'll say Seaver.
Manny Alexander, good play. The throw out Roland. 1, 2, 3. We go in the bottom of the third. 1-1 tie. Harry Caray and Steve Stone and Kevin Tapani will lead it off. And I told you Tom Arnold would be along, and here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Arnold. They tell me you got, well, hey, now, that's what I call big. When a guy's got a show that they really use his real name, Tom.
I know, it's great. I could have thought of something more original, but I think they can recognize it's Tom. I didn't use my last name because I want to make sure that people still watch the show.
Hey, Tom, everybody will watch this show with a bang because I haven't seen it yet, of course, but it sounds great. You, the father of a couple of girls?
Yeah. I play a guy that got a big public, ugly Hollywood divorce. And he used to be married.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, we've all been there, Harry.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, that is a stretch for me. And I had to go start my career over back in the Midwest. I can't get a job in Hollywood anymore, so I produced a small-time morning talk show starring Ed McMahon.
Yeah, but you are from the Midwest, too.
Yes, I'm from Atomo, Iowa.
Yeah.
And, so I watched the Cubs all growing up. It's I've been a fan my whole life. And I spent a lot of time back here, go to a lot of the Iowa Hawkeye football games. We got a great team this year. We play Illinois this week. And so I come back here a lot.
Well, I know it's going to be a great show, and you're on a wonderful station. You ought to have some great ratings.
Yeah, they're great. WGN is great, and we're on at 8 o'clock in the Midwest, 9 o'clock on Sunday nights, the rest of the country, and we're having a great time. We got a really fun show, and I hope people like it.
I tell you, if you run into Peter Walker, listen to him. You'll pick up a lot of funny material.
That's what I hear. Yeah. I hear he's quite a character. We may make him the wacky neighbor.
Here's a ground ball base hit for Lance Johnson after Tapani is fanned. So Johnson's on. He tripled his first side. You really get into it when you get into your grandchildren. I got a 3-year-old grandson now. I have other grandchildren too. Here is Sandberg getting another standing ovation. I sure hope you get as many standing ovations, Tom, as he's been getting all during these last 15 years.
This is great. It's an honor to be here with Ryne retiring. I mean, it's a wonderful day. You know, it's so fun.
All right, let's stick with him for just a moment, and we'll be back with you. Here's the pitch. He lined a double off the left center field wall his first time to drive in the only run. He now has 403 doubles during his career. Only Ernie Banks among Cubs Cub names we would recognize is ahead of him with 406. Even I don't remember Cap Hansen.
Oh, yes.
1 ball, no strikes. Boom, fouled it back. I wanted to hurry this along. I have a grandson, and his name is Brendan Newell. He's Irish as Paddy's pig. But you really have seen someone. You see 3-year-old grandchildren running around.
That's right. I'm looking forward to that myself.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch to Ryno. Look out, almost hit him. Now, you can't carry on a series of show without getting some of the problems of life involved, huh?
Right. Well, you know, it's nice if you can do a show and put some of the bad things that happen in your life into it and make it funny, you know, whether it be my divorce or other things like that.
There's a pitch outside, ball 3.
So, you know, I just, you know, it's not a total autobiographical show. I mean, I don't make fun of my ex-wife, for God's sakes. We wouldn't want that. But I kind of make fun of myself and the situations I've been in and having to start over and maybe had some failures in Hollywood. And so I have fun with it. You know, a guy from the Midwest.
If you don't mind my saying so, here's a high foul ball out of play. I think your divorce did you a lot of good.
Oh, yeah, I think, well, you know what? She and I were friends for a long time, really good friends for 6 years, and we got married. We should have probably just stayed friends.
Well, yeah. That's good.
Sometimes divorces work well for people. She's very happy. I'm happy for her. And, you know, she has a talk show coming up next year. And my ex-wife in this show has a talk show also. I didn't realize she was going to have a talk show, but I created the show. But it's okay.
Tom, if it make you feel any better, I got 2 ex-wives.
Oh. There you go.
Here's a high pop fly. The wind might take it. Nice play by Cummings for the second out.
Yeah, but your ex-wives don't have TV shows, so they can talk about you bad. That's why you're lucky.
No, they've done a great job with my children, all of whom are grown now. I have, you know, my son Skip broadcasting in Atlanta has for years. His son, who's my grandson, works for Fox and does the Magic basketball in Orlando, where he lives. So, listen, I wish you the very best.
Thank you, Harry. It's an honor to meet you. I'm a big fan of yours. You do a great job. We love you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You too, Steve.
Okay. All right. There's a base hit in the left field. And the runners at first and third is Grace. Grace singles to left. Runners are first and third with 2 out. Here's Sammy Sosa.
This one shot through the left side. Runners at the corners now in this 1-1 ball game, and Sammy Sosa with a chance to break his own RBI record to 119. He has equaled his season high. And let's see if he can put the Cubs on top and set an all-time career run batted in total for himself.
2 men are out, 2 men are on at the corners. 1 at first, 1 at third. 1-1 tie. Sammy Sosa a little bit low and outside. Schilling is on the hill. This is one of the best pitchers in the game today. Strikeout king of the National League. He now has 4 strikeouts today. 309 for the year. There's a pitch a little bit outside. You know, when you strike out 10, think of it this way. There are 27 outs. When you strike out 10, that's 10 outs you've taken care out of the 27 required to end the game. And when you go up higher, like 14, 15, and 16, you can see what a factor that is. Here's a pitch over the outside corner, a strike call. The Pirates lead St. Louis 10-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Two balls and the strike. Strike! He had a good cut at that. Houston is tied up at Cincinnati 1-1 in the 3rd, at the end of 3. The Tom Arnold Show will be on Channel 9. Every Sunday at 8 o'clock. I guess that's on tonight, isn't it? Hey, great. You can see his show on Channel 9, the same channel you're on, at 8 o'clock Chicago time. There it is, right there. Followed by All Right Already. Two balls, two strikes. 1-1 tie. Schilling. Strike 3. Boy, that seemed wide indeed. But again, he calls it. He calls that pitch outside. That's 5 strikeouts for Schilling in 3 innings, at the end of which the score is tied 1-1. Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field. We go into the top of the 4th. Broken now. Takes a strike call. 0-2. 1-1 tie. Beautifully pitched ball game. The Phillies with 3 hits, the Cubs with 5. High fly ball down the left field line. It is into the stands, foul. Brand Brown chasing all the way over there. Montreal leads at Atlanta 6-1 at the end of 6. The Pirates are walloping the Cardinals 10-1 at the end of 5. Hey, when your opposition scores 10 runs in 5 innings, even Mark McGuire can't help you. Here's a strike 3 swinging on Bronya, and that is number 4 for Tapani. How about that for a split household? The gal's a Cub fan, the man's a Sox fan. And they both seem very mad at the moment. Here's a pitch a little bit low. The White Sox just got a 0 on the top of the 8th. And the score's 2-2 in Boston. There's a pitch inside. Well, what I love about Wrigley Field, there's a line drive, but it's foul territory. Great try by Dave Hansen. The people that come here want their club to win, of course. Everybody wants to win. But they know one team's going to win, one team is going to lose, even before they get in the ballpark. But they answer with a spirit of having fun, of laughing, of joking, of making trickery. of booing an umpire or cheering a star. All the emotions are there. And whoever designed that phrase, the agony of defeat and the ecstasy of victory, certainly covered it all. But it's a game. Enjoy it. Well, the trivia question. Who's the answer? Tom, say we're first thing we've agreed on in 15 years.
And we were both right. How about that, sports fans?
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on.
September has been an unkind month to Mike Lieberthal. Overall, it's been a nice year for him.
Swings and he strikes him out. Strikeout number 5.
From Sammy Sosa, Mark Grace, and Kevin Ory to Cub greats Ernie Banks and Andre Dawson, there's only one place to find all of your favorite Cub players this offseason. At the 13th Annual Cubs Convention, January 16th through the 18th at Chicago Hilton and Tower, sponsored by Pepsi. Take part in autograph and photo sessions, baseball clinics, special events just for kids, and much more. For more information, call the Cubs Convention Hotline at 773-404-CUBS.
Billy McMillan, who singled in the second when they scored their 1 run when Barron followed with another base hit, is up there now. 2 out, nobody on. Boy, Tapani's been outstanding. Good fastball over the inside corner. You could see that Cummings seemingly was looking for a change, and the ball zipped right by him. 0-2 the count. Fouled it off. 0-2. Schilling has had 6 strikeouts. Tampany has had 5 strikeouts. He's pitched 1 more inning. Here's a pitch. High foul ball out of play. Boy, oh boy. You know, yesterday might have been a turning point for both the Giants and the Dodgers. The Giants. Here's a pitch bouncing in front of the plate. The Giants were drubbed, something like 12-2. I forget the score, wide margin in the daytime. And later on, the Dodgers are playing a little bit later, and they were tied 1-1. Then they trailed 2-1 going into the bottom of the 9th. They realized if they won, they were tied for first place. Or they were still ahead, wasn't it? They were still ahead. And they had the bases loaded with 1 out. Here's a tap right back to Tapani over to first to retire the side. 1-2-3. We go in the bottom of the 4th, tied 1-1. Harry Caray back to Wrigley Field. Hansen will lead it off. Dave Hansen singled his first time up. The Giants got clobbered yesterday, and the Dodgers knew they'd make up a game on them and be tied for first place. When they went to the bottom of the 9th, they were trailing 2-1. They filled the bases with nobody out, and pinch hitter Eddie Murray hit into a game-ending double play, and the Giants, in spite of their heavy whipping, still held on to the 1-game lead. Now that's what you call some of the luck that has to come your way. Two balls and a strike. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Oh, he hits that outside corner. It seems like the more you can hit that outside corner, the bigger winner you are.
You have to have command of both sides of the plate. Schilling does have that.
breaking ball into the dirt. 3-2. Hanson. Another hit. Dave Hanson gets his second hit in a row. A line single into left field.
Kids call 1-888-CUBS fan and become a member of the Halo Chicago Cubs Kids Club. Join today and receive an official membership card along with a Cubs cap, sunglasses, calculator, notebook, pen, 2 tickets to a future Cubs game, and much more. That's the Halo Cubs Kids Club at 1-888-CUBS fan. Call and join today.
Boy, I'd say there you see 2 guys who've had tremendous seasons. And you can bet they're going to get a big raise in pay. Dave Hanson and Dave Clark. Hanson to your right, Clark to your left. Strike called over the outside corner. Brand Brown out on strikes his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike. One, and he missed. Boy, what a beautiful day and a fine crowd on the final home game of this year for the Cubs. Finish up on the road. First 3 in Houston, the last 3 in St. Louis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low, 2-2. Schilling throws hard. So the first runner back. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fouled it out of play. Oh, I wonder what. I wonder what this note is. Karen. Oh, yeah. Here's the pitch, a high. Fly ball, center field, coming in for it, making the catch. Cummings. So, 1 out, 1 on. And Brown flies to Cummings in short center. No, that's not Alvin Hemphill's Hyatt limo. That ain't bad, though. I imagine Brendan would love that. 1 out, 1 on. Swung with a pitch up right, eye high, and missed. Houston. Boy, they're playing him the same place they played him before, Steve. Look at where Roland is.
Well, they expect him to hit the ball to the left side, but also they're not expecting the bunt.
Now the pitch. Strike call. Now I don't expect them to bunt either.
Not now. Although Rod Carew might have been the best at 2-strike bunts that I've ever seen.
Mickey Mantle wasn't bad at that, but strangely enough, such a home run hitter. Here's the pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Toronto got 4 in the 5th of New York and lead 4-3. So the first runner back, Houston has taken the lead 2-1 in the top of the 4th at Cincinnati. A little bit outside, 2-2. The outfield plays Houston towards the left. A big gap in right center. Fouls it back. 2-2. Pittsburgh now leads the Cardinals 11-1 at the end of 6. Mark McGuire, with the Cardinals having only 1 run, you probably guess does not have any homers, would be right. And Houston goes down swinging, strikeout number 7.
312 for the year for Curt Schilling.
Two out, and Hansen still at first base. Manny Alexander struck out in the second. Schilling, slider, strike, miss, swinging. Boy, how about Notre Dame getting beat again? Wow. The Bears are losing today. Thank goodness for the Bulls. Alexander 0-1. Fouled it back. And now Schilling's ahead of him 0-2. Well, there are no tricks about Schilling. He just seems to come right after a hitter right away. 0-2 the count. One tie. Pitch outside and high. Beautiful afternoon. The pitch. Low. Lieberthal took a position outside of the plate, and Schilling threw it right there, but it was a little wide. They were hoping Alexander would go fishing. 2-2 pitch. He swings a long fly ball, will be caught. Cummings back under it, he has it. To retire the side. 1 hit, 1 left. At the end of 4, it's tied at 4. Harry Caray and Steve Stone as we go into the top of the 5th. All tied up at 1. The Cubs scored first on Sandberg's double to left center, and the Phillies scored in the second on Barron's base hit. A ground ball hit by Barron's. Danny Alexander into the dirt, but Mark Grace comes up with it. 1 away. Manny Alexander will find that there's no first baseman he ever threw towards to pick the bad throw up better than Grace. Dunson learned that over 12, 15 years. And I'm sure Manny Alexander knows that, even by now.
John Fenzel of Fenzel Chrysler Plymouth on hand, as is John Schultz of Center Garage Chrysler Plymouth.
There's a ground ball, and Sandberg up. And Stocker is out. And everything Ryne Sandberg does gets a big cheer. He is really loved by this crowd of fans in Chicago, and from indications all over the country. You know, Schilling originally was signed by Baltimore. Here's Schilling, a pretty good hitter, fouling one deep into the stand. In 1986, he was with Elmira. In 87 with Greensboro, where he won 8, lost 15. There's a line drive, center field, Johnson there to grab it. 1, 2, 3. We go in the bottom of the 5th, 1-1 tie.
On today's Discover Card Playback, Sammy Sosa's been one of the National League's hottest hitters over the last 6 games, hitting .476 with 4 home runs and 7 runs batted in.
Harry Caray back to Wrigley Field. And Manny Alexander will lead it off. I mean, Tampany will lead it off. Ryno for Mayor. I don't think Mayor Daley's a little bit worried. I'm sure Ryno is not interested in the job. You know, Schilling was drafted originally in the January player draft in 1986. Then, in '88, he was traded to the Baltimore Orioles. And now listen to this. Curt Schilling and Brady Anderson were traded to the Orioles for Mike Boddicker. Brady Anderson hit 50 home runs last year. And Curt Schilling has already struck out something like 312 this year.
Look at the next trade Schilling was involved in, Harry, when he went over to Houston.
With Pete
Harnish and Steve Finley.
And Steve Finley, wow. For Glenn Davis, who finished playing after the next year. I think he got hurt or something. Tampany hit by a pitch ball. Now here's Lance Johnson, who's 2 out of 2. Johnson started a ball game with a triple and scored on Sandberg's double off the left center field wall. Then he singled in the 3rd. Now he's up there with Campany at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Montreal drubbing Atlanta in Atlanta 7-1 in the bottom of the 8th. The Red Sox lead Chicago 5-2 at the end of 8 in Boston. There's the pitch low. 2 balls and a strike. Ooh, Detroit just hit Baltimore with a 6 spot and lead 11-1 in the bottom of the 6th. That Detroit is quite an improvement over a year ago, where I think they lost over 100 games. There goes the drive, way back. It might be. It could be. Hey! Johnson, his first home run hasn't come, and Chicago's ahead 3-1. He's had a single, a triple, and a homer of Schilling already.
Lance has hit 5 home runs, 4 in a Cub uniform, so he found some power here in Chicago. Drives in runs 38 and 39. The Cubs go on top as this one finds a home in the basket. It's a low fastball, and Schilling gives up the long ball for the 23rd time. Barron thought he had a shot. He didn't. And the 5th that goes out of the ballpark puts the Cubs on top.
Here now is Sandberg. The Red Sox have just beaten the White Sox 5-2 final score. Boston 5, the White Sox 2. There's Lance Johnson. He's not blowing anybody any kisses yet.
All he needs is a double for the cycle. And for Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? 365 happy feet. And 1 double, and he'll hit for the cycle.
There's a high pop foul back out of play. a triple, a single, and a homer. He has scored 2 of the 3 runs and batted in 2 of the 3 runs. One time, of course, batting himself in with a homer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled it off. 3-1 in favor of the Cubs. Houston leads Cincinnati 2-1 at the end of 4. There's a pistol below and outside.
That was right there.
Montreal ahead of Atlanta 7-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Line shot in the left field. Sandberg singles to left.
Well, Cairo is loosening up, and it looked like Cairo will come in and pinch run for Ryno, and they'll allow Ryno to get a final standing ovation here
Now
at Wrigley
listen to
Field.
this. Listen to this. That's what they should have done in the 9th inning yesterday. Everybody on their feet. Look at that. His players are all there also. His teammates. We'll never forget you, Ryno, the sign says. Boy, oh boy. Does that tell you a story about the man's popularity? Come on, Ryno. Come on. Here he is again. Boy, oh boy, that's something. What a way to end a spectacular 15-year career. And I only hope in the days ahead we'll get some information that would indicate that Ryno may be part of the Cub organization for the rest of his life. That may happen. 1 strike, 1 on. There's a drive by Grace, way back. Might be, could be. There's a home run. Grace is 13th of the year. And Schilling is being hammered. Five to 1 now in the bottom of the 5th. Crowd giving Grace a great hand. Now let's see if Samuel hit one. High fastball. He'll be blown away. Mark, well, his mother was in town last night. This is Sandberg threw a party at Harry Caray's. Here's the pitch, foul back. And Mark's lovely mother was there. 2 balls and the strike. Houston is clobbering Cincinnati. You know, the only chance Pittsburgh's going to have is to sweep 4 games against Houston in Houston. Here's a home run.
For Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? 374 happy feet.
So Lance Johnson homered with a 1 on. Sandberg single and Grace homered with a man on. Houston leads in Cincinnati 6-1 going into the bottom of the 5th. The first finale of a baseball game is in Boston, where the Red Sox beat the White Sox 5-2. Ground ball right to Ryno, steps on the bag, easy out. One away. Sosa, 1 out of 3. Here's Hansen, who has 2 out of 2. Ryne Sandberg, career with the Chicago Cubs has just ended. For the home folks, seeing him for the last time today, of course he will play in the remaining 6 games undoubtedly. On the road, 3 in Houston and 3 in St. Louis. It is sort of poetic that he should end his home season against a team from which the Cubs got him, the Philadelphia Phillies. As a matter of fact, as the story goes, Larry Bow is a man that Dallas Green really wanted, but he also insisted on another infielder, a young infielder, and eventually agreed to Sandberg. Little did anybody dream what a spectacular career was about to start for a pleasant young man out of the Northwest. Hansen, 2 out of 2. There's another one, way back. It might be. It is. Dave Hansen gets the 3rd home run of the inning. His 3rd home run of the year. There's pitching coach Galen Cisco coming out, and that may be all for Curt Schilling.
3rd home run, a high fastball. 3rd home run of the 5th inning. And Hansen hits his 3rd, drives in his 20th. And for Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? 371 happy feet.
A right-hander's limbering in the bullpen. Cubs lead 6-1. Well, the Cubs started their home season with a defeat. As a matter of fact, they started with 14 straight defeats. But they will have ended it with a victory if this score holds up. They lead 6-1. And Brent Brown, 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, oh boy, Pittsburgh leading St. Louis 14-1 at Pittsburgh. The only hope for the Pirates, they have 4 games left with Houston. Whom they trail by 3.5. They're the only team that seems to have a chance, and it would take 4 consecutive victories over Houston by Pittsburgh. Unlikely, but not impossible. Brown called out on strikes.
That equals the National League record by a right-handed pitcher. J.R. Richard fanned 313 in 1979, and Curt Schilling has just tied him with his 8th strikeout.
But he's allowed 3 home runs in the 5th inning to break up a 1-1 tie, and the Cubs now lead 6-1. Here's Houston. 1-1 pitch. Good fastball. 2-1. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings for Schilling. Line drive foul. Low and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. High pop fly should be caught. Morandini calling for it, and he makes the catch. 5 runs scored. They have 3 home runs, and at the end of 5, the Cubs lead 6-1. Johnson started the ball game with a triple. Sandberg lined a double off the left center field wall to drive him in, and the game stayed 1-1 until the bottom of the 5th. Tapani was hit by a pitch. Johnson a 2-run homer. Sandberg a base hit. Grace a 2-run homer. Sosa grounded out. Hanson a 1-run homer. Miguel Cairo now playing second base, and Jose Hernandez now playing third base, and Doug Glanville is now in left field. So Cummings called out on strikes, and here is Morandini. That's his 6th strikeout for Tapani. Ground ball over the first, easy out. Let's pause for identification. You know, Tapani has retired 13 men in a row. 2 out here. The Phillies haven't had a base runner since Tony Banner drove in the run in the 2nd inning with 1 of 3 hits. Hernandez is having a great year. Here's a line drive in the right center field, and Roland is on. Among defensive substitutes, Hernandez in 38 games. McCracken and Orsolak tied for the lead with 41. Here's Brogna. Nothing out of 2. Line drive, nobody will get this one. Rolling to the wall. Up with the. Here's a run around third base, racing for the plate. Good throw, can get him. Safe. Wow, that was close. A fine slide by Roland. Touching the plate with his hand, getting his body as far away from the catcher, Houston, as he possibly could.
RBI 81 for Rico Brogna. He takes it down the line. There's a good relay throw from Glanville to Alexander, and a pretty good throw home, but Scott Rowland's got very good speed for a big man, and he makes an excellent slide. John Vukovic waving him home. The relay is there, and Rowland goes behind him and not even close at the plate.
So now it's a 6-2 ball game. And here's Mike Lieberthal with 1 out of 2. Scored their first run. Ground ball deep short, up with a nice. Whoa! Hernandez came out with them, dropped it as he's getting ready to pick it out of his glove to throw. An error.
Jose Hernandez picks up his 8th error of the year. This ball to his left and just drops out of the glove.
So 2 men are out. 2 runs are home. 2 men are out. Houston leading in Cincinnati 6-2 at the end of 5. Billy McMillan fouls off the first pitch. So I should mention that Tapani retired 13 men in a row. The next man, Roland, single. And the following man, Brogna, double to left. And now they have a runner at third and at first and 2 away. McMillan fouls it back. Boy, the bleachers are jam-packed. And a nice crowd in the grandstand. There's a high pop foul, might stay in play. Nope, out of play. And Houston returns to the plate. There, the rooftops well populated as usual. Only one missing the big crowd that had yesterday. That's the one in left field, across from Murphy's, about even with the scoreboard out there on Waveland Avenue, a brown-colored apartment house. Yesterday, the Wild Bunch was out there. Today, there's only very few people, about 3 as a matter of fact. Here's the pitch a little bit low. But a good crowd everywhere else. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul it back again. Montreal about to score the 76th victory of the year. Love struck him out over the inside corner. So with 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left. We go into the bottom of the 6th. Harry Caray and Steve Stone. Don Blazer is the new pitcher for the Phillies, replacing Curt Schilling.
Blazer at 1-1, ERA 5.23. On for the 35th time. He worked with Bruce Sutter. Worked on that split finger. Let's see if it works today.
Manny Alexander leading off. Schilling got 8 strikeouts today. Tapani so far has had 7. Schilling will only pitch 5 innings. He's through for the day. He went in with a record of 16-10, and as of now, he would be the loser. There's a pitch bouncing in front of the plate. There are 2 completed games now. Montreal in the National League at Atlanta beat the Braves 7-1. In the American League, the White Sox at Boston lost to Boston 5-2. There's a drive. Manny Alexander singles to center. And he greeted Don Blazer like a long-lost cousin. Ready? Tapani takes a little bit outside. Tapani fanned and walked, I guess.
The double one, dog.
1 ball, no strikes. He's going to bunt. He misses. 1-1. Grace has hit a homer with 1 on. Lance Johnson preceded him with a 2-run homer. Those were the big blows. Again, he misses his attempt to bunt. Schilling coming into this game. There's a good bunt with 2 strikes on him, a sacrifice. Fine ability to move the runner along by Kevin Tapani. You know, Kurt Schilling came into this game having allowed 22 home runs. In the 5th inning, he permitted 3. 1 by Lance Johnson, 1 by Mark Grace, and 1 by Dave Hansen.
If Lance Johnson can pick up a double here, he will have hit for the cycle within 6 innings.
One out. Oh boy, he had a cut. Walks across the plate. The last cycle hit by a Cub was by Mark Grace 4 years ago against San Diego. 0-1 the count. Good fork ball. I guess that's what Bruce Sutter taught him.
That's it.
0-2. Low into the dirt. They appeal. He says, yeah, he went around. And Johnson is out on strike.
Gary Darling on the call. It looked like Lance had checked his swing. We'll take another look. It's another fork ball, and Gary Darling said he went around far enough. So no cycle for the moment.
And here now is Miguel Cairo, who spent the season at Iowa. Had a fine year there. Sandberg, while he was in there, had 2 out of 3. A run batted in, number 64. A double, his 403rd of his career. And a single and 1 run score, 2 out of 3. 1 run score, 1 run driven in. There goes the runner. Pitch foul back. Alexander broke with the hit and run, I guess. But Cairo fouled the pitch off. One ball, 1 strike. Kansas City entertaining Cleveland, no score. At the end of 6. There's a long drive. Way back, gonna be caught, and it is, by Tony Barron. So that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. At the end of 6, the score's Cubs 6, Philadelphia 2. Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field. Tony Barron will lead it off. Cubs lead 6-2. Tampany pitching another outstanding ball game. Actually, is on pitch Curt Schilling today. There's Jim Riggleman and Terry Francona. Riggleman in blue, Francona in red. There's a hot smash past Hernandez. And Barron lines a single to the left.
This one's a blast on a low fastball, and really it just eats up Hernandez, so it goes a base hit.
Here is Stocker, Kevin Stocker, 0 for 2. Mike Robertson is in the on-deck circle. There's a pitch high. Well, we saw what the Phillies could do. They trailed yesterday. Going into the 9th, they pull the game out of the fire. There's a pop foul out of play. They scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th to win the ball game, 3-2.
Ryan Karp throwing in the bullpen.
One ball, 1 strike. High pop fly. Sammy coming in. He's got it. Stocker flies to Sosa. Mike Robertson, a pinch hitter, coming out.
Number 34, Mike Robertson, will bat for Blanchard Robertson.
He had played yesterday. He had before.
He had his hit yesterday in the big inning. They're the averages for various teams and pinch hitters. Philadelphia has the lowest average, 185. Mike Robertson can run fast. And 1 out of 4 yesterday.
Patterson starts throwing in the bullpen.
1 ball, 1 strike. Robertson. Only been about 30 times, has 6 hits. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit that one off the end of his bat foul. John Vukovich picks the ball up and flips it into one of the fans. There's Vukovich, wonderful guy. He's coached here for years. I've made a world of friends. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung, and he struck him out. Robertson goes down swinging.
Gets an inside fastball and carries on the tradition of the Philly pinch hitters. No contact.
Here's the leadoff man. And Greg Cummings. Slider caught the outside corner. Boy, he's ahead of him now. Made him look bad on a off-speed curveball. 0-2. Tampany is pitching another masterpiece. He's only permitted 6 hits. He retired 13 men in a row at one point. There's a high fly, a pop fly, might draw rain. And Grace makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go in the bottom of the 7th. The Cubs are leading 6-2. All right. This is the last time this year. So let me hear you. Good and loud. All right, Gary. 0-1. 0-2. 0-3. Take me out to the root for the Cubs. We go in the bottom of the 7th. Here's Grace. He brought a roar in this 5th.
Ryan Karp comes on at 1-1, ERA 4.50, and there you look at Ryno in his final Wrigley Field appearance in uniform.
2 balls, no strike. Six-two Cubs lead. Ryan Karp, a left-hander, pitching for the Phillies. And Grace gets a base on ball. Mark with 2 on the 3 in his final home appearance. Sammy Sosa. Hasn't done much today. Struck out twice and bounced up. What a year he's had, though. 36 home runs. 119 runs batted in. His home runs and RBIs dwarf anybody else's. So far as the team is concerned. A high pop fly should be caught. Mickey Mardini back there, and he has it. One away. Boy, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I don't have any ball game to come to. You guys will be on the road, having all the fun and excitement the road games bring you.
Yeah,
But then even you will only have that for another week.
You got the Bear games. You got Notre Dame. They're both doing good.
It's been that kind of year, Steve. Don't kid about it. Boy, thank goodness for the Bulls. And their spring might be starting to play out too. The pitch, and Glanville fouls it out of play. Well, they say you have to hit the complete bottom. By gosh, we've done that now. Now let's start working our way back up where the Cubs belong, and I'm sure they will. There's a line drive for Glanville. Boy, he has been remarkable. And he's on there with a base hit the only time he has batted. Glanville is hitting .306 with runners at first and second. Ryan Karp, the left-hander on the hill. You know, you would expect this guy's name to be Karp Ryan. Instead, the last name, which is usually so, is his first name, Ryan Karp, K-A-R-P. What's in the name? One ball, no strikes, one out, one on, two on rather, one on first, one on second. Hernandez batting for the first time. Look out, pickoff throw all the way through by Lieberthal to the second baseman, Morandini, but Grace was back there. Two balls, no strikes. There's a drive, way back. It might be. It is. Holy cow! Jose Hernandez. And there's the fourth home run of the day.
Hernandez hits his 7th home run of the year. Now he's driven in 26. That's only in 174 at bats, so quite a job he's done. And watch it again, he just crushes this one. Ryan Karp gets it out over the plate, and Jose Hernandez puts a charge into it.
There's Tyler Houston fouling off the first pitch. Whoa, what a play by Roland. What a play reaching in among the photographers. Let's see that again. There's a Jose. Now watch it. What? Look at that. Beautiful play. So here's Vandy Alexander, who's 1 out of 2.
For Southwest Airlines, how far does it fly? 376 happy feet, and the Cubs are going out with a bang this year.
And I would imagine that Jose Hernandez, I don't know what the thinking with him has been, but he's always been a utility man. There the guy got a chance to play a little bit this year, and you can see where he can really be a big help to this ball club, because he can play short, he can play second, he can fill in the outfield, got a great arm, good speed, and popping his bat as he's proven for a couple of years. A little bit low and outside. Long and he missed. Strike came out. So there's 3 more, and the Cubs now lead 9-2 at the end of 7. Harry Caray back in the ballpark. Ramon Tatis comes in for the Cubs. Tampany worked 7 innings. He will pick up his 8th victory against only 3 losses. An earned run average of 3.73 prior to today. Today he pitched 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, and fanned 8 in the 7 innings. Here's Tatis pitching to Morandini.
Tatis 1-1, ERA 5.43, on for the 55th time.
29,922 paid here today. The Cubs have drawn 2,190,308 for the year. Over 2 million, almost 2,000,002. For the last place ball club.
Reggie Harris warms up in the pen.
And so Morandini walks. Tatis. Here comes Phil Regan. With right-handed batters like Roland and Bronya and Lieberthal, all of whom have home run power, Regan has a couple of words for Ramon Tatis. There's a pitch a little bit low. Are you going right to Arizona after the season? You're going to be here for a while.
Wait a day or so and head on down, get some real nice warm temperatures.
Boy, you got enough tan already. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if I don't see you before you get away, too bad the team wasn't better.
Well, wait till next year, as you say, Harry.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It'll be an interesting winter, Harry, because first you have the expansion draft, and that's going to be interesting. You should see some trades on, on draft day, and that will be, you know, depending on who you lose, that's going to be pretty interesting. That's going to set up some trades for later on. And then you have the free agent season.
And I tell you, there's going to be some free agents that maybe may attract a lot of big offers.
Well, Darryl Kyle's going to be one of them. He could be the premier pitching free agent.
And I still want to get a very good left-hand hitter, power hitter. I don't know what they're going to do with Lance Johnson because he and Doug Glanville are more or less the same type. But both give you a lot of tremendous team speed up and down your batting order. When you have two guys like that who can score on an infield hit from second base every time up, rolling, goes down swinging. Tatis gets him. So it is going to be an interesting offseason.
Think Larry Walker's available?
Boy, oh boy.
Probably not.
I'm sure the Tribune Company would be offered to him tomorrow.
What a year he's had.
Yeah. No doubt about the MVP. There's usually a lot of indecision, but I think this year there's no doubt Larry Walker, the Colorado Rocky, is it. I think Greg Maddux is going to be the Cy Young Award winner in the National League again. Although he's going to have a little competition. I tell you, with Mark Clark and Kevin Tampany as a nucleus.
Don't forget Jeremy Gonzalez. He showed a lot this year.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting around to. The door is open now for the youngsters who develop quicker when they're proven winners on the same staff with them. Maddux was young, but all the other pitchers gravitated towards him whenever they had a problem. So is it with guys like Tampany or Mark Clark. The young pitchers, of whom the Cubs have a pretty good number, I think, saying nothing about the pitching coach. It doesn't matter whether the pitching coach is good or bad. I think Phil Regan's as good as any pitching coach in the world. But players are more receptive to people they had who are doing the same thing they're doing, are more receptive to their advice than they are to the manager or the coaches. And that's why I think having proven winners on your staff can help your entire pitching crew. But that's just one man's opinion. 3-2. Fly ball, left field. Look at that Glanville skid along. Makes the catch, 2 away. Boy, I tell you, that young man is 27 years old. And now don't tell me that he couldn't have been playing in the major leagues before this year.
Well, he might have. He just didn't have the opportunity. But this year he showed everyone that he is a major league quality player. You know,
Jimmy Pearsall has been raving about that kid for 3 years. He's always said before spring training, where do you see this Glanville? But, you know, you have your minds made up on who your outfielders are. Like with the Cubs, you know, who would expect Brian McRae to have a bad year, for Pete's sake? You wouldn't even suspect he was the same player this year that they had been before for the Cubs. Who knows why these things happen? But they do. And they will continue to do. There's a high fly ball. Who's going to get it? Alexander calls for it to retire the side. No runs, 1 left. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. The Cubs are leading 9-2. Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field. The Cleveland Indians are batting at the top of the 9th at Kansas City, 0-0. If they win that ball game, the White Sox have already lost. I think then it's all officially over in the American League Central Division. Pittsburgh beat the Cardinals 14-2. San Francisco at San Diego, no score. Houston leading Cincinnati 7-1, 7-2. Well, we don't have too much time the way things are lined up after the ball game, Steve. So I just want to tell you, you've given me the same stimulating arguments this year that you always have before, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Harry.
Kidding aside, it's been an enjoyable year, and Josh has done a good job also, and my appreciation of both of you.
Well, thank you. 15 years already.
Yeah.
Long time. It's gone fast. It seems to be going faster, too.
Listen, my friend, take good care of yourself. There are too few of us left. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And, of course, as always, Arnie Harris in the truck.
Well, I'm getting around, Arnie. I'm trying to think of a particularly biting last remark. There's a pitch by Jennings. Foul back. Harris snug pitching for the Phillies. Jennings lined out. 1 away.
And Lance Johnson still has another opportunity for a double, and that would be the cycle. And the fans know that, and they're giving Lance quite a hand.
Strike call. Well, all kidding aside, Arnie is the greatest producer director of baseball in the entire country, has been for years. Everybody in the business knows it. If he didn't love Chicago, so he's born and raised here, I'm sure he could be in a number of other places and pay a lot of money. But his home is here. He has a wonderful wife, Arlene. He has a family. All the children are grown, all doing well on their own. I keep waiting to read his name as a new purchaser of the Arlington racetrack. And I know it's available. Nobody will make a good racetrack operator better than you. But you and Mandy Cohen, and we tried to mention everybody that we can possibly think of. And this is that kind of a day, especially when you reflect on the great career of the man we've had an opportunity to follow all year long, Ryne Sandberg. Lance Johnson gets a base on ball. Yeah, we have had a lot of fun considering we haven't won too many games. Well, listen, you guys, I've been trying to tell you for 15 years. You take it too seriously. It's only a game. Nobody cares. It doesn't affect the nation. You should be more worried about the tax structure. But so far as sports, it's games. You come out to have a good time. And look at these people here. They don't care how the game ends. Naturally, they prefer you win. But they've had a great day. And that's what it's all about. Here's a ground ball hit by the beats out to throw. Cairo gets another infield hit. And so, they're 2 men on with 1 out. Cairo's been doing a heck of a job. He's very fast. He was hitting .364, and he's 2 out of 2 today, which means he's 6 out of 13, almost 500.
No chance to get Cairo, who does have good speed. The off-balance throw. Bronia comes off.
The Chrysler Plymouth game summary. Sandberg went 2 for 3, a double and a run batted in on this his final appearance at Wrigley Field for the year. And Lance Johnson, Mark Grace, and Dave Hansen and Jose Hernandez all have hit home runs on the final home game of the year.
Well, somehow Reggie Harris balked, and Terry Francona is talking it over with Jerry Meals to find out just exactly what he did, considering no hitter was up there.
On a balk, if you get a hit, don't you get to keep the hit? If you get a hit?
Oh no, he didn't balk on the hit. He balked after the hit, somehow.
I've got to give the Wrigley operation one final compliment. Maybe you could tell. I've been eating chocolate frosted malt, light ice cream from Maplehurst. And Kathy Kerr was nice enough to get it from the press lounge, and it's really very good. Total fat only 13%, calories only 320.
What are some of the ingredients in that?
Here's a pitch swung and missed. Well, there is protein, there's sugars, there's dietary fiber. The total carbohydrate is 19%. Sodium, cholesterol 11%. Hey, here's a wild pitch or pass ball and a run scored. And the Cubs lead 10-2.
Well, apparently Harris a little shaken up by the balk call, and he throws one in the dirt and goes all the way to the bricks. And Lance Johnson scores his 3rd run of the day.
That's one other item in this ice cream.
You gotta watch that sodium here.
Saturated fat.
Oh, that's not good.
The way I'm stumbling along, I think maybe there might be some alcohol in there too that they don't mention.
I try to talk to Arnie Harris about that saturated fat all the time, but he never listens.
The pitch. Wow. Grace has had his usual 300 year. He's had his usual 13 home runs. He'll finish with 13 to 17 or so. Each year he gives you consistency, exactly what you're looking for. He happens to have. There's the looper in the short center field, another base hit. And another run is scored. And now the Cubs lead 11-2.
Mark up to 75, runs batted in. Just drops this one into right center. That's his 3rd hit.
And here is Sammy Sosa. This is our final time at bat here at Wrigley Field this year. 11-2 in favor of the Cubs. Pitch a little bit outside. Sammy Sosa. Swung at the breaking ball. And the count is even up. San Diego out in front of the Giants again, 2-0. The Dodgers play later tonight. Curveball into the dirt. 2 balls and the strike. Oakland leads Seattle 2-1 at the end of 2. Anaheim tied with Texas 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Toronto and the Yankees tied 4-4 in extra innings. Toronto beat Baltimore 11-3. He swings at the breaking ball. Cleveland failed to score in the top of the 10th. Top of the 9th, make that. And Kansas City could win it in the bottom half. The White Sox got beat in Boston 5-2. Struck him out. A fastball over the outside corner. For the 3rd time today, Sammy is out on strike. And each time he was called out. 2 away. Montreal beat Atlanta 7-1. Cincinnati leading. Houston leading at Cincinnati 7-2. Glanville checked his swing, but was in there anyway. Over the outside corner, give or take a few inches. One pitch. Whoop, inside. High foul ball out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, Cleveland, Kansas City. No score for 9 innings. You know, Glanville has a funny swing. You know
Well, what he does, Harry, when he gets 2 strikes, he shortens his swing and just tries to put the ball in play. And more times than not, being the Cubs' best hitter with 2 strikes, it works for him.
I wish he'd teach all the other players how to do that. When they got a man in scoring position at third base, especially, to be able to hit the ball slowly on the ground somewhere. Fouled. I mean, he had a real good swing at that. Jim Riggleman. Boy, you have to feel for him. In the final analysis, there's a line drive going to be caught by McMillan. Billy McMillan made a fine play. 2-run score. And there were 2 hits. A wild pitch. And at the end of 8 innings, the score is 11-2 in favor of the Cubs.
Here's today's Ameritech Playbook, your link to better communication. Mark Grace with his 13th home run. The Cubs hit 4 today. And Curt Schilling pounded by the Cubs. And Mark Grace, one of the long balls. And that is your Ameritech Playbook.
And here's McMillan. One ball, 1 strike. Rodney Myers pitching for the Cubs now. 1 ball, 1 strike. McMillan, a high fly ball. Glanville in left, 1 away. There's the war cry for next year. Wait till next year. Mesa's a training camp for the Cubs. It'll be a busy place, it always is. Maybe this is the year they find the winning formula. 1 out is Barron. Fouls it out of play. Let's pause for identification. One out, nobody on. High pop fly. The local season is about to end. Sosa makes the catch. The final out of the Cubs' 1997 home season is about to arrive. Everybody's on their feet. 11-2 Cubs. Now the pitch, here it is, swung on, fouled out of play. I don't know 1 strike to nothing. Base hit up the middle. And Stocker single to center.
Number 37, Ruben Amaro will bat for Aaron Amaro.
Ruben Amaro comes on to pinch hit. Stay tuned after the game where Josh will have the 10th inning featuring the GMC game highlights.
Another second generation ball player, Ruben Amaro. His dad, a fine infielder. I think he's now in the Cub organization. Ruben Amaro Jr. Two out, no, but the runner at first. 11-2 Cubs. Foul back. 1-1. Well, this has been a hectic day, final day, and all these things to do in between plays. Here's the pitch, a little bit low and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. The Cubs undoubtedly will finish last in their division. But it's a division. The way it shapes up now right now ought to be much improved with every city next year. And that includes the Cubs, so they know they're going to have to make a big improvement. Swings and he misses. 3-2. Well, let's end the season with a strikeout. Everybody's on their feet. Listen to him. What great fan. The pitch. Foul tip. Boy, you know, I say it's a game, and it is. It's a place to have fun, the baseball park, and it's always true. You can, if you want to, you can have a lot of fun. But the people who really deserve success are the fans. For all the fun they've had, for all their loyalty, they should eventually get something. They won a championship. Here's ball 4. And we've been saying wait till next year a lot. But it's the truth. You gotta wait till next year to see another baseball game involving the Cubs at Wrigley Field. And we'll be waiting and watching all the news that will be springing out from all through the circuit. Line drive, right center field, base hit. Another run scores, makes it an 11-3 ball game. Cummings line to single to right, driving in Stocker.
RBI number 30 for Drake Cummings. And the Phillies refuse to go quietly.
With 2 away. They've had 3 men in a row. Stocker, Amaro, and Cummings. Now here's another one, Mickey Morandini. Cummings single, drove in Stocker, who had hit with 2 out. Amaro at second base. Long and with every swing, with every miss, the crowd reacts. Oh, and 2 the count. He struck him out. The Cubs win this one 11-3. And the local National League season at Wrigley Field is concluded. We'll be back in a moment. Harry Caray back in the ballpark. The players are coming over to shake hands with the fans and flipping their caps into the stand. Now this is really something. On this final day, to make the fans realize too that the players have an attachment for them. Just advice. Look at all the fans gathering up to where they can touch the players. Jim Riggleman led the way. Really a colorful ceremony. Look at that. And the photographers are having a heyday. Don't let me forget the Budweiser play of the day, Arnie. Watch them all. Here's the Budweiser play of the day. The last time at bat at Wrigley Field by Ryne Sandberg. A line single to left. Truly the Budweiser play of the game. And here's Ryno coming out to take an encore. Sammy Sosa running out to the fans in right field, waving to them all. Boy, oh boy, what a heartwarming spectacle this has been. Maybe this augurs well for the immediate future of next year.